What a day of T20 cricket we witnessed today. A bounce back from South Africa in extraordinary fashion. And I was a little bit too excited to go live. So that's why I'm live a little bit earlier than per usual. But I'm sure others will join in at the time that I did set for this live show. There's a lot to discuss today. There's a lot of positives, but also some negatives. But I'm not going to try and focus on too much of the negatives because I like it when the team is going in the right direction. So I'm going to be discussing today's match and I'm going to be talking about what made it special. But then I'm also going to get into some discussion about Dewald Brevis, of course, and listen to his presser and see if we can pick anything out of that because I think it's important for us to also hear from the player and what he thinks about his performance, etc. So let's discuss today's match. I know I'm making the shows a lot later in the evenings. I'm thinking that most people that are at work in South Africa would appreciate that probably, us going live a little bit later than directly after the game. Most people are stuck in traffic at that time. So I thought, let me hold off on the live show for the people that are getting home still from work, etc. So they have something to unwind to when they get back and a summary that they can tune into before they or while they're having supper or once they've settled after supper. So that's why I've started to make these live review shows a little bit later. I do put up an immediate reaction to the game on TikTok. I've been doing that a lot recently. And I'm hoping that you guys appreciate that too and follow me there as well. I don't know. I never wanted to fall into the TikTok trap, but I've been convinced by many people in my life that I need to start doing those and why am I not making use of the platform. So I've started to do it and hopefully you guys appreciate that as well, the short format. I'm not a big fan of the platform, to be honest. I don't like the way it's kind of keeping our entire world hostage at the moment. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to use it to benefit us as a cricket fanatics community and family that we have over here. So before we get going, before we get started, there's a couple of things I want you guys to please do. First and foremost, subscribe if you're new. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Please smash the like button, show us some love, and also show Dewald some love by smashing that like button as well. And I would like you guys to also comment on the comment section in the comment section after the video is ended. I really need you guys to please do that. That really helps the videos spread. And you guys have been excellent with that so far. So please continue doing that and supporting the channel and supporting those videos. We also have a digital magazine. That's our bread and butter. So go ahead and download Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. The link is on the screen right now as well as in the description. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we discuss everything that happened in the second T20I between Australia and South Africa. It was a dominating performance by South Africa, and as you can see, all you see is Dewald Brevis's face, and rightly so. What a fantastic performance today by this young man, but we'll get to him a little later. Let's just start off with what happened in the match. South Africa actually lost the toss this time around and they were put into bat first. And at the toss, Aiden Markram spoke about him wanting to bowl first. Clearly, over the two matches, it has proven that it's a lot harder to chase on these Darwin wickets. So this actually played into South Africa's hands. So that last match is going to be a big gamble. And a lot of people are going to be looking at this and being like, what do we do now? I think they'll probably second guess what they want to do at the toss now. And perhaps by the third match, the pitch would have deteriorated a little bit more. Spin might come a little bit more into play. We don't know. And then maybe chasing or a lot easier, sorry, than what it is at the moment. It seems to be a little bit more tricky. But there were a lot of records that were set or broken today, or it's small milestones that I'm going to take, small wins that I think South Africa can take from this. It's not major records that were broken, but it's something that South Africa can take pride on. It's something that I feel that this selection and this squad can take a lot of confidence from. What happens over here is that we need this team to start building a culture and an ethos and a connectivity amongst all of them. And they need to start building belief, like the test team did too. They take small win, small win, small win, and started growing that confidence, growing their Ubuntu or togetherness. And they started really becoming a well oiled unit that really get along well off the field and on the field. They started to build connections with each other. And I think this squad is starting to do that too. We can see the celebrations in the field when they take a wicket, when a good catch is taken, how they all are happy and celebrating together, running to be able to go and celebrate with each other as a team. So, all of these things are very, very important to build a good team chemistry and a good team ethos. And I think that's starting to now bleed into the white ball arena as well. Again, like in the first game, Aiden Markram started off really well, and Ryan Rickleton this time joined him, looked a lot more free flowing today than he did in his first match. And they got us off to a good start, actually. We were finding decent boundaries at the right time. And then we lost two quick wickets, basically. Um, Ryan and Aiden Markram losing their wickets early, which I felt was obviously a setback from a South African perspective. And then Luandre Pretorius also looked good for his 10, looked decent for his 10, but then also lost his wicket. And I thought, oh no, we are in trouble. At 57 for 3 after 6.5 overs, I was really nervous about where South Africa was going to go with this match. I was sitting here thinking, hey, is this going to be another match that we are going to downplay and say we can learn from it? Or are we going to show improvements? And in T20 cricket, you just really need one player to really come off and one or two players to come off, and you can put yourself in a very strong position. And if you look at T20s all around the world, whether it be IPL, SA20, other T20I matches, there's usually there is one or two heroes that really step up and can win you a game. And boy, did that happen today. Dewald Brevis was spectacular, but he was helped by Tristan Stubbs. 126-run partnership between the two of them. And Tristan Stubbs scored 31 of 22. But Dewald Brevis was the star of the show. 125 of 56 balls, 12 fours, 8 sixes, a strike rate of 223.21. Yes, he got a bit lucky with a couple of drop catches here from there and there from Australia. That's the one thing that I think that Australia let themselves down this match is the fielding. Their fielding wasn't as clinical as it was in the opening match. But Dewald Brevis really took everybody apart. He was absolutely fantastic. And of course, he helped South Africa to 218 for 7. And this was the highest T20I total by South Africa against Australia. The 125 not out is now the highest T20I score by a South African in international cricket. He's now the youngest South African to hit a century in a T20 international. It's also the 125 is also the highest ever score against Australia in T20 internationals by any player. So records really tumbled today, and he was absolutely phenomenal. And this is what I was talking about. When you back youngsters and believe in them and give them the chance and give them the belief that they are can do what they can do, They play with freedom, they play with confidence, and they can become very dangerous. And ultimately, Dewald Brevis batted until the end. And that is another very important point. He batted till the end. He was not out at the end. That is so important when you have a player that is that is in and doing well. This is what I wanted to see from our South African batters for so long. Often we see someone star in a match, score 55 or 34 deliveries or 30 deliveries, but then go out. And then we don't actually, what happens is we maybe go out on 160 and then we never get to that 180. We struggle to get there. Whereas today, Dewald Brevis made sure he stayed at that wicket and pushed us past 200. 218 is a massive total, especially against Australia. So I think a lot of confidence must come from this. Couple of negatives is that so far we haven't seen the all-rounders perform. They haven't done what they are supposed to do in their all-rounder positions, both matches. And throughout Zimbabwe as well, our all-rounders never really put up their hands and performed like Coach Shukri probably is hoping they would. Because the reason we're selecting these guys is not only for their bowling, it's mainly also because of their batting. And none of them have put in a performance with the bat. Corbin Bosch got a duck today. So and in the last game, we obviously had Senator Mutasami also going out for a duck. So our all-rounders aren't necessarily proving their worth with the bat at the moment. The ball, on the other hand, they have been decent. Rassi didn't do his part either. 5 of 3, 1-4, strike rate of 166. Doesn't matter the strike rate if you're only scoring 5. So he never really took his opportunity that he got to bat. But I'm so happy that Coach Shukri still stuck with Luandre, still stuck with Dewald, and rather opted to maybe rest a couple of other players. So Rassi got his opportunity to play. But I hope that he continues to pick Dewald and Luandre now. I think it's now that we've seen what Dewald Brevis can do and see him perform the way he has, perhaps you can maybe give him some time off on the bench before the ODIs. Is he in the ODI squad? I can't remember now. Let me just double check that before I start talking rubbish here on this channel. Because where is it? Because I did that show so long ago, I can't remember now. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So maybe you can give Dewald Brevis a little bit of a rest before the ODIs now. And then you can still play Luandre and you can still give some other guys an opportunity as well. So I think we need to just be patient with someone like Pretorius and give him some time because he's showing good signs. He's been in incredible form and he's been scoring a hell of a lot of runs in a short period of time. So he's bound to decline and have a little bit of a low scoring time. It's just natural for a youngster and for any cricketer. We need to be patient with him like we were patient with Dewald Brevis. And I'm sure he will come good and then show us what he can do in this white ball format as well. So I don't want to see anybody talking about, oh, we need to drop this play, any of the youngsters, because I think they need to play every single game that they can with rests in between, of course. But overall, 218 for 7. I think that was brilliant from South Africa. The best bowlers for Australia were Glenn Maxwell and Ben Dwashhouse. That's how you pronounce it in Dutch, I think. Dwashhouse. Okay, so 0 for 44 for Sean Abbott, who came in for Inglis, who was sick, and then 1 for 46 for Adam Zampa. Then came the Australia innings, and South Africa got off to a brilliant start with the ball. Travis Head out early for 5, and then it was Cameron Green out for 9, and then it was Mitchell Marsh, who was 77, was out for 22. But Australia was still batting at a decent rate. They were 77 for 3 after 7.1. So they kept up the intensity. And as you can see over here on the score sheet, everybody's batting at a strike rate of above 150 over here or above 100. Mitch Marsh, even though he went out 22 of 13, here you can see Tim David, of course, and Glenn Maxwell, all above, all positive strike rates. So they're batting with the right intent. And I think that will pay off for them down the line. Today it didn't, however. Tim David again, fantastic, 50 of 24, strike rate of 208, 4 4s, 4 6s. He really put pressure on South Africa. And I really thought when they got to the 100 mark by 9.4 overs, they were still in the match. But that wicket was the wicket to take. And who other than Kagiso Rabada to strike and take that pivotal, important, clinical wicket that he did. Crucial wicket is what word I'm looking for at that particular time. And Tim David had to go back to the pavilion. Glenn Maxwell tried hard, but he was dismissed by Mapaka. Alex Carey tried hard, 26 of 18, 3 4s, but Ngaba Peter took his wicket. And then Bosch towards the end, once again, bowling really well towards the end, taking wickets at the death, which is so important. He ended with 3 for 20, was actually South Africa's best bowler today. And then Kwena Mapaka, even though he was expensive with an economy of 14.25, really struggled today, but he still took wickets and he still struck. So he still added wickets to his tally throughout the series. 3 for 57 he ended with. And then we had contributions from Lungi, 1 for 19, economy of 5.18. Very good bowling from him, utilizing his slower deliveries. Aiden Markram got the first wicket of the day, of course, 1 for 9. And then Kagiso Rabada, 1 for 21 at an economy of 7. So overall, very good bowling, bar the extras. 11 wides are way too much, guys. We need to sort that out. We'll be so much of a much better team. I mean, Australia, right? 218 we scored against them, and they only had 10 extras. So that just shows only 5 wides they bowled. 1 no ball, 3 leg byes, and 1 bye. So ultimately, we need to clean up our act when it comes to our bowling. We bowl too many extras, and we need to sort that out. 16 extras is way too much. But we did bowl out Australia for the second time in their entire T20 careers, we could say, or 2020 history. We bowled them out for the second time like we did in the first match. The first match was the first time they were bowled out in a T20. This is now the second, and it's both by South Africa. So very well done by South Africa. 165. We ended up winning by 53 runs. So overall, brilliant performance by South Africa, I have to say. And I think it's time for us to maybe have a listen to why did I close that? We need to have a listen to his press conference and hear what Dewald Brevis had to say after the match. See what he said, and then we can move on to the comment section. It's only 5 minutes, guys, so you guys don't need to worry that it's going to take forever. Let me just do this quickly like that and make sure that it is selected. Cool. So let's have a listen to this presser. It's a quick one. Obviously, there aren't many journalists over there at the game. So here's what Dewald had to say.
Around your boundary hitting, 96 runs in boundaries and 66 runs down the ground. How did you target that area?
Just for me, always, I believe God blessed me with a talent to play like that, to play aggressive, have ball striking. And yeah, since this last few years, well, this last year, since 28 December 2024, that's really where I made that commitment. I got a few people, they know who they are, who I trust. And the main thing was just to be the original Dewald and to be on that side of it. And every ball, wherever it is, to watch it and to hit it. So it's just happens, basically.
It just happens.
Follow up on that down the ground hitting. It's a great sight when you keep your head down all the way. Is that sort of a technique that you've been working on?
To be honest, I think that's just my natural way of hitting. I've hit thousands of balls, and I just want to go out there, enjoy it, and have fun. And yeah, just watch it, and then if it's there, it happens. So I don't try to do it. I'm just trying to be myself and have fun and watch the ball, and yeah, then it happens.
So, when you reach your century today, big look to the sky. Can you talk us through the thinking behind that?
Yeah, just when I reached that century, the most important thing for me was
Thank
it
God.
wasn't me, it's all God. I give it all to Him, all the glory, and He blessed me with the talent to play like that. And yeah, that's the first person who I gave all the glory to. So yeah, and then it was fun to just that moment. It was a special moment.
Do you see that as a breakthrough for yourself, that you proved yourself that you're good enough at the top level, you can take them anywhere?
I've always believed this is where I need to be and where I'll be. So I never had doubt or anything. It's all about cricket, how things work out. It is a roller coaster. You have your ups, you have your downs, and yeah, it's never ever have I doubted myself. This is just for me the start of, if I could say it like that. It's not that this happened now and now I'm happy or anything. Like I just want to keep working hard, do the same things, and the next match is the next match. So this 100, I can enjoy it now, think a bit about it, watch it maybe, but then when the next match comes, it's completely a new match and anything can happen then. So you have to be in the moment.
Neil?
Do you know who the previous record holder was for the Proteas? And do you have a message for him?
If someone didn't tell me after the game, I think it was at the match something, then I wouldn't have known, but it's Jock Cullis, if I'm correct.
Faf.
Someone said it's Jock, but is it Faf? So I got it wrong, I didn't know. But it's obviously it's a privilege and an honor, and yeah, there's not a lot of words. I'm just extremely grateful and yeah, excited for what is ahead.
Yeah,
Further questions?
beat Faf.
I just wanted to ask about your approach to the spinners. There didn't seem to be a lot of spin out there. Did you feel like that was an area where you could really attack from?
I always knew like I was happy if spin like arrived, so I would have just watched it and maximized every single ball. But in a way, I felt like I'm happy if the seamers come because the wicket was nice. I enjoyed it. I was just in the moment, to be honest. So it was never. I was happy with whatever bowler it was space on, seam on, spin or anything. Yeah, very happy.
Just,
Yeah.
Interesting situation with Stubbo giving you the start, so you could watch it out.
Yeah, I'm extremely grateful. Stubbo played very well. He's a boundary hitter as well. He's a great player, so he could have easily probably striked as well, but he's been on this level quite longer and he's played and he's got experience. So I think he really identified that moment and he helped me basically as well. It's not you alone out there, it's your partner that helps. If he dotted up or if he got boundaries, then I would have been on the other end basically. So thanks to Stubbo, and I'm excited to see what he's got in him in the next matches.
Josh, and you've been sort of IPLing for a lot of years, but you haven't sort of played a lot of international cricket until the last couple of months. Has that been frustrating for you? And yeah, does it feel like a bit of a breakthrough now?
Yeah, I think I would have loved to obviously be here. This is a very special place, the Proteas, for me. So to be a part of it and to go out of it, that wasn't easy. It was tough, but I'm extremely grateful for it. If it wasn't for that, that's all a part of your journey, and that's what makes you stronger. And that's why I'm here now. And I think it's a big reason how I'm playing also now. I had to make all those mistakes that all of the senior players actually warned me. All of the guys, they told me, watch out for this, do that. And then I basically exactly did the opposite. So it's important to go through that and to be able to be here now. It's special. That's all I can say.
Cool. Okay. That was Dewald Brevis, short and sweet. Not too much to talk about over there. I think he actually explained everything perfectly, so we don't really need to dive into everything. But I'm glad that he is back in this space because he deserves it. He's extremely talented, and South Africa need a player like Dewald Brevis. We've been waiting for that for a very long time, for someone that can be this confidence, this attacking, and play with that type of freedom and entertain our fans. So brilliant performance today by South Africa. Now we can go and we can be proud of the series so far. But now I'm hoping that in the final match we have a collective, a team win. That would be brilliant. Or a team performance. Whether we win or lose, I would like to see a team performance from everybody. So that's something that we need to take out of the series. I hope we can win this. This will be a brilliant confidence boost for this team if they can get a victory against Australia in Australia, especially with this youngsters in the side. And it's a good start for Coach Shukri if that will be the case. Okay, let's get into the live chat. I'm not going to go right to the top, guys. I'm sorry. But I'm going to start with, let's see. Let's start with Brendan. Brendan says, Dewald, get in. Oh, he actually says, Dewald, get in. Lame. Dewald is special for me, lame. Dewald is a special talent. Even Stubbs is not as close to Dewald as people may think. Um, we haven't seen the best of Stubbs yet. Justin says Brevis should bat at 4 in ODI. Also says Justin says Brendan says I feel like Luandre Pretorius is not a number 3 batter. He is better off as an opener in the shorter format. Then we'll have to move maybe Aiden to 3. That's the case, or Ryan to 3. But I don't think Coach Shukri will do that. And I think that he can adapt to number 3. Me personally, I feel that he has the ability to be able to adapt to number 3 in T20 cricket. Tala says best 11 for T20 World Cup. Aiden, Ryan, Pretorius, Brevis, Stubbs, Miller, Linda, Janssen, Bosch, KG, and Ngidi. You can swap 1 or 2 players depending on conditions. This team will be unbeatable, says Tala. A lot of belief in his team. Justin says, why can't we open with the Cock and Rickleton? Because the Cock doesn't want to play for South Africa. Dick says, Devi. Wilbur says, let's go Proteas, big win today. Brennan says, send with some is ahead at the moment in the spinners picking order. Dick says, I really like that in the intent today. Tala says, really excited to watch the decider on Saturday. Justin says, Linda in for Peter for decider because we don't have a batter at 7. Rassi is not a number 6. Yeah, he isn't. Tex says, I'm really worried about Stubbs' approach. He's taking too many balls to settle. He wasn't like that when he was in his first season as an international. Don't know what happened to him this year. I think that he's maybe approaching it that way because South Africa is getting into positions that are we're getting ourselves into trouble. And I think that he felt that he maybe needed to be that person or that player today for Dewald. And it actually ended up working out in the end. Justin says, yes, what happened to Stubbs? He was much more aggressive batter a few years back. He is more slow now. I think it's the match situations that are dictating that. NY says, Stubbs' only job was to rotate strike, and he did it till the end. Don't know why people are having Stubbs by his throat. I feel like Stubbs' role today was to play. Thank you. That's exactly what I said. Wilbur says, Stubbs really played a good role today of giving the strike to the on-song man and supporting him during that partnership. 100%. I think that's exactly what happened today from a Stubbs perspective. And the match situations are dictating that at the moment because he's always coming into the situation where either we are in trouble and we don't have many runs on the board and he needs to bat until the end. So that approach is important, is fine when you're in shit. And we were in shit. Tala says, I think Stubbs is not playing his natural game. Someone should tell him to go and play with freedom. Not in a situation like this today. I wouldn't have told him to do so. Stubbs is playing within himself, and I'm worried about him and the Proteas. I don't think we should worry about Stubbs. He'll come right. Stubbs' natural game is to understand the game situation. He does that well every time. Justin says Pretorius is having a horrible time. Miller will come in for Pretorius. I think we need to be patient with Pretorius. Tala says it was bound to happen. He was being in incredible form across formats. So there's going to be a dip in form. You can't expect a player to just be great every single match. There's going to be times where he's going to dip in form. And that's when we as a fan base should support them and back them, not decide to just throw them away when they're not doing well. Tala says there were some balls which I felt he should have smacked at full and half volleys of Zampa. I don't understand why he's holding himself back. Should go full throttle. In my times cases, I was happy they throw Rassi at 6. If Rassi come up, batting order would have been different. Sam says Stubbs played smart innings because when Dewald gets going, it seems we have more balls left and someone should be finishing at last. Brendan says, give Pretorius time, guys. Kid just made the national team just a month. Exactly my point. Wilbur says, we beat Australia by 53 runs, a huge win in T20s. Why is everyone's on Stubbs back? Can't we just be exactly? Let's just be happy with this victory. Come on, guys. Don't be so negative all the time. Sam says Miller will replace Rassi against England series. And of course, Marco also joins them. In my time, LDP should play all games till the World Cup. I agree. Stubbs has been our best batter in the last 1 year in all formats, yet he is being crucified. Justin says the cock still didn't retire from T20s. He didn't announce it, but his actions speak louder than words. Wilbur says we smacked Hazelwood and Zampa today. Robert Harland says, for me, Corbin Bosch is more of a tail-end batter who can sometimes get you an extra 10, 20 runs rather than an all-rounder who can deliver with a bat and ball. It's an interesting take. As the Gashu, the batting unit has to keep playing together in order to understand each other. That's very, very true. Tabo says we only bat well when we bat first, and that's a worry going into a major tournament. I mean, we didn't bat too poorly in the last game. Um, we showed good signs. We just couldn't hold our nerve completely. That chasing thing is a thing though. We need to learn how to do it consistently well. Justin says, Abshukri bats Brevis at 4 in an ODI as well. Taha Patel, I'm excited to see Brevis bat in ODIs. Wilbur says, I've said this before. Brennan says, true. The batting unit needs to gel as a unit to understand each other and also plan towards the World Cup. Am I almost at the end here? Okay. Sam says, I'm hoping that Aiden can anchor those youngsters by remaining in the crease. He just needs to play smart cricket rather than taking on bowlers too much. Wilbur says, I've said this before. Peter bowls too fast. He's always in the high 90s. We need to slow it up and try to deceive the batsman in the air of the pitch. And I think that will come with experience. Learning when to bowl the slower ones, when to turn it, when not to even turn it, when to bowl the straight one. So straight arm or arm ball. So all of those things is something that I feel that he will learn over time. And he needs to have, I hope that they get him involved with a very good spin bowling coach that can give him that guidance. Sam says Peter just needs to work on his consistency, bowling on good lengths rather than half trackers. Anurag says one of Senaran or Linda have to play instead of Rassi. Peter should be getting more chances. Sam says this batting till 5 will be sorted and will sorted out with at 6. Miller let them play all T20s together to understand each other and don't go crazy too much on their stats like Luandre Petores give them all time. Tabo says there's a debate on social media between Markram and Bavuma in T20. He scored the same amount of runs in the last 20 innings, but Bavuma has won 60% of games as captain, and people want Markram dropped. It's a new role for Markram now as an opener again, and getting familiar with being an opener, because in T20 cricket, I don't think he opens anywhere. So we need to be a little bit patient with Bavuma with Temba as captain. It's the same thing like I said about Bavuma. We needed to be patient. So I'm going to stick to my guns with regards to that. Sam says the more time Dewald Luandre spends on the crease, the more confidence they will get. Happy that Dewald today played his last ball. Dex says Bavuma himself stepped down from T20I captaincy. Tabo says, is it fair or are people just hating on Markram? People are hating on Markram, but people are always going to find someone to scapegoat. With this new regime and this new direction that we're going with, I've said that I'm going to remain positive and I'm going to be backing our players and allow this. We have a new coach in a new setup, in a new format, with new ideas, with a new captain, with a new batting orders, with new everything. And yet we're not being patient. We need to erase what happened before Coach Shukri. We really do. And reset our mentality and take things forward from this game, from this series onwards. From the Zimbabwe series kind of onwards. The Tri series. That's where we need to start judging. And I think we need to show some patience, because all of these players are playing with a different mentality. They're playing with a different strategy. Some of them are in different new positions, new roles than they have been playing previously. They've been given different responsibilities. They've been working with a new staff, with new teammates. So let's just give them some time to start playing some games together before we start getting too critical on them. I think that's fair. Anurag says Stubbs played a crucial knock today. He's been playing some supporting knocks, but will come good eventually. Eventually, he will, and I agree with you. He's too talented not to. Stubbs is in my time square says Stubbs is better batter in Proteas since last year. He's rescuing teams since last year. He will break his back carrying this team stop order. Sam says I feel T20s we cannot complain every player in every single game. I'm hoping this time we will beat again the Aussies in the final T20. Sam says, Khalid, what I like about these trio LP, Brevis, Quena is like the no fear. I like their no fear intent against, obviously, uh, they are full strength. That's why I'm so happy for them. They are stars. That was just the way to play T20 cricket today is to go hard from ball one. The IPL has shown us how to play T20 cricket now. And that's the type of cricket that Aiden's trying to play at the moment in Rickerton from the get-go. And that's what they're trying to play. That's what they're trying to do. And they're playing with that type of mentality at the moment. So we never used to play with that mentality before. So that's something new that we need to get familiar with. And I think that we need to give the team time to be able to find that groove. Yannick Mack says Brevis selection finally pays off. PDL Arjun says Ryan Rickelton. Okay. Sam says Markram is here with his performance and record being captain, and we knows when he comes good, he won WTC. Yeah, and then I've got one comment that someone wanted me to read out from Facebook. Where is it? Please share my view on today's show. Proteas match analysis from Jay van Heerden. Markham continues to disappoint with the bat. I applaud his captaincy, but one thing stands out since he took over. He doesn't trust himself with the ball. He can easily bowl 4 overs, yet chooses not to. Pretorius is putting pressure on himself. In my opinion, he should open instead of Rickelton, who is far too conservative. Commentary mentioned Stubbs plays a support role, and they weren't impressed with his approach, especially late in the innings. Bosch, Ngidi, and Rabada managed, yet we scored 216. So I think those Aussie commentators need to just keep their mouth. Bosch, Ngidi, and Rabada managed the run rate well, giving Quena a chance to strike with his express pace. Here's the interesting and worrying part. Apparently, Paul Adams is Peter's bowling coach, and the Aussies say he mimics Adams's habit of taking his eyes off the target. Is this really how we want a young spinner to bowl? If true, Paul Adams should be fired immediately before he ruins the boy's career. Nonetheless, I'll take the win. So I don't know what you guys think of that. In Watan's says, I want Linda for Peter in the last game. Arjun says, where is he mad? You've been asking that every single stream and nobody knows. Void Walker says, the coach is a genius. Why was Van der Dussen batting that low? Because he wanted because he wanted all his attacking batters up top. It worked in the end. Tala says, what happened to Dayam Khalim? He played well as far as I remember on his last tour. He's looking for better batters, I guess, in those positions, I think, maybe. I don't know. I'm hoping that some of these other guys will be able to get opportunities down the line as well. And that is what it is. Anurag says, if the Aussies commentators had their way, they'd let you believe that all the sixes Brevis hit came from the edge of the bat. Exactly. They were saying, oh, he didn't actually time that well, or oh, it hit the end of the bat or the edge. They're so biased. It's unbelievable. I'm not a fan of the Aussie commentators. In my Times Square says, it is better for the team to compromise on Rassi than other batters. Arjun says, what happened to Jason Smith? He is not in the ODI squad. He needs to perform ultimately. And Jason hasn't been consistent enough, I guess, when he's been given an opportunity. Anurag says, Will Utne Batman ever play again? What's happening with him? That I don't not know. I would like to see him back in the mix because he is very talented and very good. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to smash the like button, please, as best as you can, and comment in the comment section below after the video is ended. Subscribe and click the notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget, obviously, like I said, please, once the video is ended, comment in the comment section. Leave your thoughts. Let me know who you want to see play in the next match. Let me know what you thought about certain players in this match. Leave some amazing comments there, guys. It really helps us on in the algorithm and on Google and everywhere. So please get involved with the comment section. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I'll see you guys again with another show. Stay safe. Enjoy your evening. Click the notification to know when we go live. Peace out.